Welcome on in, guys. Three bold takes, and we are back again with some more predictions. I believe it's week 11 of the college
Yeah.
football season. But before we do that, we want to thank our partner SeatGeek for giving us a discount code to save you guys $20 off your first purchase. That code is three bold takes. Again, three bold takes, all spelled out for $20 off your first purchase. So thanks SeatGeek for sponsoring the channel. Guys, time to move on to the nightcap matchup on ABC. We've got number 11 Alabama and number 14 LSU. Keep in mind, this is the AP rankings here. The college football playoff rankings come out the night that we're recording, so these could be shifted a little bit. So at 6:30 on ABC, Alabama is a 2.5-point favorite on the road in Death Valley. The over/under is 58.5. And wow, I had to take a second look at this. According to ESPN, Alabama has a 70% chance to win against the Tigers. Now, keep in mind, LSU only has one conference loss. Bama has two. So this is a de facto they both have two losses overall in the year as well, but this is a de facto playoff elimination game here. And this is why the 12-team playoff is just awesome to me. All of these games, especially for Alabama, is here on out, and LSU here on out, it's going to be an elimination game. So Chase, I want to jump to you first. Give me the rundown on this game. What you feeling? Who do you think is going to come out on top?
Man, yeah, I watched the LSU Texas A&M game quite a bit. LSU on the road at College Field, or Kyle Field, my bad, College Station. And LSU played a really good game. They just did not game plan for a true freshman dual threat to come into the game. Now, that's not on the team as much as it is on Brian Kelly. Marcel Reed comes into that game, ends up just dominating the rest of the way and just really mixing in the LSU, mixing up their defense. And LSU, honestly, I thought would have a down year, mainly because you lose Harold Perkins to an ACL injury, I believe it was, who I thought would be the heart and soul of the defense. They've seemed to continue on and be really good. Garrett Nussmeier stepped in extremely well for Jaden Daniels. I think he is the top quarterback statistically in the SEC. He's throwing the ball all over the field. He looked great against Ole Miss in that 29-26 overtime win. I love this game every year. Typically, this game falls around my birthday. It's always a huge heartthrob of a game. You're sitting there having to make sure that the whatever they're called, the things that zap you back to life are next to you. Because Alabama LSU just always comes down to the final play, the final drive. It's fun to watch. This Alabama team is not. I'm not a fan of this Alabama team this year. Sure, you can look at it and say, well, they just destroyed Mizzou. They just shut them. I don't care. Mizzou sucks. They were down a quarterback that they put a horse tranquilizer in to finish the game before Alabama. And then he came in hobbled, hurt, and didn't have a starting running back in that game either. So they were on it. They were down from the get-go there. Mizzou knew they weren't going to win that game. Alabama, yeah, it's a good showing, but at the same point, you're not a good team. You almost coughed it up to Georgia. You lost to Vandy, and then you also lost to Tennessee. You nearly lost to South Carolina. I'm not a fan of this Alabama team at all. You're about to play under the lights in Death Valley against LSU. The worst parts, the defense just isn't there. Until they show me something else, I'm not going to ride with Alabama. I can't. I'm going to go LSU in this game. I think LSU eliminates Alabama from the play. And let me get this right. Let me get this right before I say this. Is people are going to come in after they lose this game, after Alabama loses, and say, well, this was the worst hire in Alabama history. DeBoer is the worst. We need to fire DeBoer. We're not doing. No. DeBoer is a very good coach. He is playing with toys that are not his. He does not have. They do not fit in the way that he plays just yet. When he gets his toys in his system, you're going to go right back to Nick Saban, to Gene, to all these other very good Alabama coaches, and you're going to have a juggernaut once again. Right now, he is playing with toys that he is trying to get together, and he's doing a very good job at it. But at the same time, some of them just don't fit what he's trying to do. And that is okay. This Alabama team is a good team. It's not great. This Alabama team is sound, but they're not They can't do everything like a typical Alabama team does.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Quinn.
okay.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm going to Grant.
Here's what I'll say about first Alabama matchup wise against LSU. LSU has, to a pretty decent degree, struggled with quarterbacks who are mobile this season. That does not bode well for them, especially when you pair it with Milroe's downfield ability. Now, that being said, he's been a little off on the downfield ball in his last 2 games. So we'll see if the bye week helps him out with that. But Chase, I'm with you. I'm picking LSU in this game, and it's for one reason. Alabama has a lot of impressive wins. They beat Georgia at home. I think they beat a good South Carolina team at home. They crushed Missouri at home. On the road, they have a really nice win on Wisconsin, where the starting quarterback got hurt in the first quarter, and we really don't know what Wisconsin would have done throughout the game with their starting quarterback. Other than that, not look good. So if you're asking me, how's Alabama going to fare in a playoff elimination atmosphere in Baton Rouge against a team who has been bludgeoned to death in the worst nightmare possible for the last 15 years? Not good. So give me LSU to win this game. I say by 10 points. I like the Tigers to beat Alabama by 10 at home and really let all of the anger and frustration that has pimped up over the 17 years of Nick Saban, just let it loose on Saturday night. So give LSU.
Wow. Okay. Chase, I want to give another analogy to what you were talking about with the toys. You ever gotten in somebody else's car to drive it and the seat doesn't work for you, right? The mirrors don't work for you. You can drive it. A, it's not comfortable, and B, it's not safe. In order for you to drive it comfortable and safe, you have to adjust the mirrors, adjust the seat. You have to do all of that before you can drive it effectively. That's basically what Alabama is this year under Kalen DeBoer, just like you talked about. But I want to mention, I think Alabama. Now, granted, we've seen one game since the Tennessee game. That was 34-0. But what I saw in that game at the end, when DeBoer put the starters back in to maintain the shutout, that's the type of energy that Saban used to bring. That's the type of energy that we did not see the first couple of weeks, actually the first probably 5 weeks into the year from Alabama, was the intensity, was the toughness, was the competitiveness. That's what I love to see, and it seems like Alabama's getting back to that, and that's what they're focusing on. Both of these teams come into this game after a bye week. Alabama came into the Georgia game after a bye week, and they came in with a very good offensive plan in the first half and was able to get out into a monstrous lead to where even though they played bad in the second half, it was such a big lead that they still won the game. LSU, however, I don't know what to think about them. Horrible loss in week 1. Horrible loss. Now, looking back now, bad loss. USC isn't even bowl eligible right now. But when you look at Bama's 2 losses, Tennessee's in the top, could be top 5 or 6. Vandy's ranked. They could finish the year ranked. I don't know, man. It's kind of comparing apples to oranges to me in the type of wins and losses that both of these teams have. I think Alabama has a way more impressive win. I think they have one of the best wins in the country, minus Oregon over Ohio State. And I definitely don't think they have the worst loss out of these two teams. I think LSU does in USC. I think Bama goes into Baton Rouge and wins this game. I think this is another nail biter here. They're favored by 3. I think that's about accurate to me. I think they pull it off by 4 points. I'm going to go 24-20. I think it's going to be kind of a low score nail biter. The over under here is actually 58.5.
Too high.
Which is too high. especially in this game, in this rivalry. The only time we've really seen them really explode on offense was 2 years, and that was in, 2019 and 2020. 2019 with Joe Burrow for LSU, and then Bama had Tua, and then in 2020 it was Mac Jones and the stellar offense that Alabama had, and even LSU had a really good offense that year as well. So
Yeah, but that game hit the over not because both teams were scoring a lot. It was just because Alabama scored like an insane amount of points.
yes, but the over still hit, and I don't care how you get there. If the over hits, the over hits. It doesn't matter. And in this game, the over is not going to hit at 58. So take that for what it's worth. But two of us have LSU, one of us have Alabama in this game. Guys, thanks for watching. It's been another prediction video for Week 11. Use our discount code 3BoldTakes over at SeatGeek. Get $20 off your first purchase. That is a gift to you guys from SeatGeek for being loyal viewers and subscribers of the channel. So use that code 3BoldTakes. We will see you guys in the next one. Peace.